let's talk about marketing generally, and what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see lawyers making in investing in marketing or just trying to do marketing?
The biggest mistake is their website. That needs to be when you're starting infancy stage. That needs to be, everything needs to go into that. And I don't just mean technically, I don't just mean mobile optimized, speed, etc. I mean the feelings that it evokes when I load your website. If I'm a woman and there's 12 guys on the main rotator, then I don't see myself represented. That might be something. It might be the fonts that you use. But also, what's crazy is some people will operate a law firm for 15 years and not know their unique value proposition.
Yeah.
They think that they're interesting enough on their own. They think that, I'm doing well. And it's like, that's great. But if you want to get to that final echelon, what are you selling? What do people feel? And then the second thing I would say is sort of investing marketing spend for ego. A lot of realtors are guilty of this. Buying a billboard just so your friends see it. Buying a billboard without thinking about the creative, making it too complex. I'm driving by for 3 seconds in my car and I look at your billboard. I might only have time to remember the website that you have up or the phone number. I don't have time for a lot of text. So I think it's a lot of the time, and the lawyers that do well aren't guilty of this. It's thinking that they know better. It's thinking that they don't need to be deferential to a marketing agency because they did well in law school and they're known as they're smarter than the average bear. And I think if you can kind of humbly look into another agency and say, hey, I don't know what I don't know. Can you tell me? And I find, I credit Diamond and Diamond with that. They hired people that knew what they were talking about and they knew when to be quiet and listen.
Yeah. What are like a few aspects of the buyer persona or identifying, who you should be marketing to? Because I can market to everybody. Or I could market to, rich, white males that are in, do this, that, and the other type of industry. How do people figure out, like, what are some things they should be looking into to identify where they should be spending money based on their buyer persona?
So it depends on the type of law, right? Personal injury law, if it's at the highest level, you don't really want to market to the person making 250 grand a year because they're in a social circle where they're going to get a recommendation. Personal injury law tends to market to blue collar a lot because there's a lot of income loss. If I'm the bricklayer who can't use my hands now for 25 years, there's my income loss. So that tends to be the one kind of market. What's interesting about divorce law in itself is that 70% of divorces are initiated by women. And so I had a client that was a divorce lawyer running radio ads. We ran them on a female-dominated station, and we ran them at a time we found out by doing our own research. We found that couples fight the most at around 8 o'clock before they go to work. And so we ran ads solely between that window to target women, which was interesting. I can't speak much to every single kind of area of law specifically, but I think if you run into... A lot of people try to appeal to everyone. I don't think that really works. If you're going to sit in that elite echelon of, sorry, I don't know, someone's at my door. Elite echelon of top lawyers, you kind of need to stick there. And with personal injury law, you can kind of go a little more wide ranging because everyone gets injured and it's recession-proof industry. But it really just depends on the type of lawyer. Yeah. But I would say, like, when I load your website, what do I feel? And to me, that's huge.